Now we want to learn a concept called list set map. To learn this concept of list set map, I need some data, because every time I don't want to create a dummy data. Because I don't want to create every time the dummy data, I will try to take the data from database and perform my operations of list set map. So how do you fetch data from database? Only basic queries I'm giving. When you get into the SQL queries, we see all the complete data about how to implement a SQL queries. But right now I'm just giving the basic idea about how to write a SQL query. It's just to avoid creating our dummy data. We don't want to create a dummy data every time, so we just want to take the data from database. So how do you write a SQL query? Look at the point. If you go to this query editor, select field name, phone, industry, from. Now what I'm doing, select fields from object name. Select fields from object name. It will give you list of records. Select fields from S object. It will give you the record names. You're going to get the list of records here, right? So just it's to understand fetching the data. The SQL queries, when I cover the SQL queries topic, I will discuss in detail as to get the dummy data for our list. We are using this. Okay. How do you write the query? Select fields from S object. Select fields from S object. Please mute your mic, Amma. Please mute your mics. Kumar, mute your mic. Right. Select fields from S object. Select fields from S object. Select fields from S object. This will give you list of fields. This will give you list of records. List of records. Group of record. Okay. Now remember this point. I'm going to use in my examples. Okay. Now the topic what we are going to learn today is collections. Now, what was this collection? Why you want to use this? Collections. We have a drawback with array. That is the reason we are going for a collection. What is the drawback of an array? When you say array, we are supposed to give size of the array. Integer, age is equal to new integer. Now when you mention the size, maximum how many elements we can store? 5 elements. Now when you say size equal to 5, irrespective of whether you use or not, the size of 5 will be allocated. If any extra person come, we cannot allocate because the size is 5. It cannot be increased or decreased. Now array is a fixed size. We cannot increase the size or decrease the size. We have a movie theater. The capacity of the movie theater is 500. Now only 100 people came to watch the movie. The size of the theater will not be reduced. Size remains 500, but only 100 seats will be occupied. Remaining 400 seats are vacant. Now 600 people came to watch the movie. Still, the size of the theater cannot be increased. The size is 500. Only it can accommodate 500. 100 people have to leave it. Why? The size of the theater is fixed. The size of the theater is fixed. We cannot increase or decrease the size. We cannot increase or decrease the size. When you say integer of 5, memory for 5 elements is allocated. When you say integer of 5, memory for 5 elements is allocated. When you say integer of 5, memory for 5 elements is allocated. Now it will not increase or decrease irrespective of your usage. Size of an array is fixed. Now I told, get the data from database. Get me all the student records. How many records are there? I am not sure. I told, get me all the students whose city is Hyderabad. I told, get me all the students whose city is Hyderabad. How many students are there? Whose city is Hyderabad? I am not sure. When you know that you are going to get 5, you go for array. When you know you are going to get 100, go for array. When you don't know how many you are going to get, go for list. Are you getting? When you know the size, you can go for array. When you don't know how many we are getting, we have to go for collection. What are there in the collection? Collection contain list, set, map. Collection may be list, set, map. Collections are list, set, map. I hope you got my point. Now, what is the drawback of an array? What is the drawback of an array? Size of an array is fixed. We will not be able to increase or decrease the size based on our choice. When you go to collections, in a collection, size is not fixed. Size is not fixed. Size is not fixed. We can increase or decrease based on our choice. Size is not fixed. We can increase or decrease based on our choice. I hope you're good. Right. Now look at the format. First one we are going to start. List. What is a list? It is a collection of similar elements. List is a collection of similar elements. Now, array is also a collection of similar elements. List is a collection of similar elements. Array is also a collection of similar elements only. But what is the difference? Size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. Size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. It is a collection of similar elements. Size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. Elements in the list are referred using index. Elements in the list are referred using index. Index start with 0. Now tell me, what is the difference you are finding between array and list? Both of them are same. Only the difference is size can grow or decrease as per your choice. Array size is fixed. The size of an array is fixed, but the size of the list is not fixed. It can increase and decrease whenever you want. Now if there are 10 elements, if I remove 1, the size becomes 9. There are 10 elements. If I remove 2, the size becomes 8. The size can be increased or decreased based on your choice. Size can be increased or decreased based on your choice. Array size is fixed. Then list accept duplicate values, and list maintains insertion order. What was this insertion order? So generally, what is our expectation in the classroom? We expect that first student will come and sit in the first chair. What is our expectation? When the first student enters the classroom, we expect that he will come and sit in the first chair. Second student, second chair. Third student, third chair. Fourth student, fourth chair. It is our expectation. So my expectation is what? List. Practicality is what? When you come inside, according to your Kundali, some northeast corner seat will be there for you. You come and occupy that seat. You may be first student or last student, but you come and sit in a particular chair. So what is it? Order of insertion is not maintained. What we assume? My expectation is list. Practicality is what? Set. What is the list? The first person come, sit in the first chair. Second person, second chair. Third person, third chair. The order in which you are coming to the classroom, we are assuming you are sitting in the same order. That is called insertion order maintained. Insertion order maintained. Order in which you are coming, in the same order you are sitting. Order of insertion is maintained. Order of insertion is maintained. Order of insertion is maintained. Order of insertion. List maintains duplicate value. List is a collection of similar elements where size can grow or decrease based on your runtime requirement. Then elements in the list are referred using index. Index start with 0. List will accept duplicate values. List maintains insertion order. Then It's syntax. When you say syntax, list of T. List of T team. T can be any data type. P can be any data type. So example. Now tell me, is it a reference variable or primitive variable? List is a predefined Apex class member. List is a predefined Apex class. List is a predefined Apex class. Now this is what? Reference variable or primitive variable? Is a list is a primitive data type? List is not a primitive data type. So anything I create as a list is what? Reference. Anything I create as a list is what? Reference. List of integer. List of string. What was that? This is how we create. Now, tell me, list, what type of elements you want to take? Integer. Now, what is the name of the list? Ages. Name of the list is what? Ages. Names. Name of the list is what? Names. Name of the list is what? Salaries. Now, tell me whether it is empty or null. Look at the story. List of integer system dot debug. It is a reference variable. If the reference variable is not referring to any one of the location, then what is the value of it? Null. Value of it is null. Account ACC. What is the value of ACC? Value of ACC is null, right? Similarly, what is the value here? Null. It is not empty. It is null. Empty means it is referring to some location. There are no elements in the location. It is empty. If you are not referring to any location, it is null. Please mute your mic, Sama. Now, it is empty. It is empty or null now? It is a null because no memory was allocated to this. You are not referring to any memory. It is a null. Now, what are the constructors available for this creation? Constructor. What is the constructor that is available? The constructor that is available here. The constructor that is available. There are two constructors available here. One is new list of T. This will create list of T. No. This will create list with the given elements in the which is given as parameter. Now there are two constructors available. So we are going to say an example. Integer age is equal to new list of, this is one format. Other format, set of integer value is equal to new set of integer now I am giving list of integer a is equal to new list of integer. What I was trying to do, this is the first constructor. This is the second constructor. Now if you already have a list, and you want to create a list with a set of elements which are there, create a new list with a set of elements which are there, then we go for passing the value as a parameter. Let me show this example. This is how we got. So let me try to print the value. System.debug. Execute it. What we have? 10, 20, 30. Now what did I print actually? Ages. So what are there in the ages? Now the list called age contains all the elements of values. What is the values? 10, 20, 30. So create a list with all the elements that are there in the set. Create a list with all the elements that are there in the set. Are you clear about it? Now there are two choices for you. Either create empty list or refer to any one of the set or list and create your list element. Are you getting my point? Here, new list is created with all the elements that are there in the set. New list is created with all the elements which are there in the list. New list is created without any elements. The second one I am giving here, list of integer a is equal to new list of integer. Now what was that? What was that? It is an empty list. What was this? It is empty list. Right? Either you can create an empty list or you can refer to any one of the existing list and create a new list. I hope you are good. It is empty. It is not null. It is empty. Why? Memory is allocated. Once I allocate the memory, it is not empty. It is not okay. It is not null. It is empty. It is referring to this location. It is referring to. Right. It is referring to the location. See, once you add it, this is creation only. Still there are functions to add up, right? We are going to add the functions to add the elements upon. Just only to initialize the list. Right. I hope you got my point here. Clear for everyone? Okay. Now let us look at the methods what we have. What are the methods we have? First one is empty. What is this age empty? This method will return true if the list is empty. This method will return false is empty. So look at the story here. Now we are giving boolean flag equal to ages dot. And again I am giving boolean a equal to age dot is empty. So here initially what is the value of flag? Initially what is the value of flag, Amma? Okay, what is the value of flag? There are no elements in the, there are no elements here. As there are no elements in the list, it is going to be true. The next one, I added an element called 10. When I add an element called 10, now somebody has just now asked how to add our own values. This how we will use a function called add to add the values. Okay. Now look at this. Now if you say list is empty or not, now we have ages true, ages false. Why the false? Second time I added one element in the list. Now look at the story. This is how I give. Now initially the list is empty. Now when you look at this, we get the value as true. In the second case, we get the value as false. Is empty. Next one. The next method we have is the second method we have add element. When I say add element, if you have created a list, you want to add any elements to the list. If you want to add the values to the list dynamically, we go for add element. What was that? Add new element to the list. New element is added at the end of in the last position. Add is the method which is used to add new element to the list. Where it is going to add? Last position. It is going to be added at the last position. So when you say add, look at the point. I have list of integer. Now, how many elements are there in this list? How many elements are there in the list? How many elements are there in the list? List of integer A is equal to new list of integer. List of integer A is equal to new list of integer. List of integer A is equal to new list of integer. What is the name of the list? Ages. Now ages will contain what? It is the name of a group. List is nothing but a group. Now the name of the group is ages. In the group, what I am going to do? I am going to put elements in the group. Which type of elements I can put? Integer values. Because the group name is of type integer. List is like a group. List is like a group. In the group, what I am going to have? Elements. Now in the group, we are supposed to put the elements. Which type of elements? Integer. First create an integer value, then put that value to a group. Create an integer value, add that value to a group. So like I have taken integer A equal to 10. Then how do you add it? Ages dot add integer B equal to 20. Ages dot add. Now what we are doing? We are putting the element called B in a group. Now A is one element. A is one element. B is one element. We are putting the elements in the group. A is one element. B is one element. We are putting the element in group. A is one element. B is one element. We are putting the element in the group. We are putting the element in the group. Right. Please do not type the messages. Unmute your mic and ask him. Please unmute the mic and ask. Okay. Now, this is how we are going. So we are putting the data. Now again, ages dot add. Straight away I am putting it. Now, when I add the element, how the elements are added here? Look at the format. First element 10, second element 20, third element 30, fourth element 30. Why? I told elements are added, duplicate values are accepted. So what is the value we have got? 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3. Now elements are added to the list in the same order in which you have inserting the data. First 10 is added to the group. Now this list name is, what is the name of the list? The name of the list is ages. The name of the list is ages. Now I told it is also like an array. It is also like an array, right? When it is also like an array, we can also refer using what? Ages of 0. What is the value of ages of 0? 10. Ages of 1. What is the value? 20. Are you getting my point? I told that only the difference what you find is the size. Size is not fixed. It can grow and decrease. Now how the elements are stored? 10, 20, 30, 30. I hope you got my point. Right, boss? So here we are giving system.debug. So what is ages? Ages is the name of the list. Right? In that ages, we are putting one by one value. In that ages, we are putting one by one value. So execute this. Ten, 20, 30, 30. Right? The order in which I inserted, the order in which they are stored is the same. That is the reason I told list maintains insertion order. Second one, 30, 30. Duplicates are accepted? Yes. 30, 30. Duplicates are accepted? Yes. So there is no difference that you find between list and array other than a size. But when you go to list, we have some extra functions to perform the logic the way you want. But in array, straight away what? Put the data, get the data. Okay. Now I can replace list with the set. I can replace list with the set. Only the difference you find is size. Only the difference you find is size. Other than size, list and set are same. In place of list, I can use set. In place of list, I can use array. In place of array, I can use list. Provided if you know the size. If you don't know the size, list. If you know the size, array. Don't know the size, list. Are you clear about it? Only that is the difference. Otherwise, both will perform in the same way. Both will be performed in the same way. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Right, Amma? What is the purpose of add? Add will add the element at the last index. It is going to add a new element at the last index. Add is the method which is going to add the element in the last index. Now, the point is, I don't want to add the element in the last index. I want to add the element at a particular position. Now, this is going to add the element in the last position. I don't want to add the element in the last position. I want to add the element at a particular position. If you want to add a element at a particular position, how will you add it? I don't want to add the element at a particular last index. I want to add an element at the particular position. So what I am going to do? Yes, Amma. No. Okay. Thank you. Now what was the next one? Add index comma element. Now generally what is happening? Generally we are going to add the element at the last index. I don't want to add the element at last index. I want to add the element at particular index. I don't want to add the element at last index. I want to add the element at a particular index. Don't put my value in the last position. Don't put my value in the last position. Put the value at the location what I want. Then we will go for add index. So look at the format. First I will explain here. This will add a new element to the given index. It will add new element at the given index. It will add new element at the given index. It will add new element at the given index. It will add new element at the given index. This will add new element at the given index. Now let me give you quick examples here. List of integer. I give ages dot add 10. 10 is added to the list. What is the name of the list? What is the name of the list? Ages. So 10 is added to the ages. 20 is added to the ages. 30 is added to the ages. 40. Now, how this diagram is going to be? By now, what is the output we are getting? 10, 20, 30, 40. This is how we get it. Every element we are adding, they are added at the last index. Now what we are getting here, ages dot add 1, 90. What does that mean? Add 90 at index 1. I am saying add 1, 90. Add the index, add the element at the index 1. So at 1, 90 is added. Remaining elements are moved to the right. We are not substituting. It is not replacing. It is not replacing. We are not replacing the value. We added the 90 at 1. Remaining elements are moved to the next position. Are you getting my point? We are not replacing the element which is at 1. We are adding remaining elements will push to the right hand side. Now look at this. I have 0, when you say 0, 80, I hope you are good with this. This is how we add it. Now we are adding the element at a given index. We are trying to add the value at a given index. We are trying to add the element at a given index. We are trying to add the value at a given index. I hope you are good. So let me give one use case here. Let me give one use case here. You remember the wrapper classes? What was that? If you want to define your own data type with a combination of existing data types, then we go for wrapper. Now, did you create any wrapper classes as of now? There is a wrapper class called student. Name is city. Right, Amma? Okay. Now try to get this story. Try to get this story. I was giving public list of what type of list is this? Student. What is a student? Student is a wrapper class. Right. Okay. Now I was taking list example. Now what is the value of students? Value of student is null. So what I'm doing, students equal to. Now what is the value of student now? You say the student list. Now it is empty. Am I right? Now I wrote one method, public void add. When you say public void add, create a new instance of student. New instance of student means student s equal to new. Then I'm saying s dot students dot add and add it to. Now when I call this method, what is happening? One new student is created, add it to the list. Am I right or no? What is the purpose of add me? Whenever I say add me, one new record of student is created, one new object of student is created, and that is added to students list. Am I clear? Line number 10 and 11 are clear for everyone? Everyone is good with that line number 10 and 11? 10 and 11, right? I created a new student, added to the list. Whenever I call this, one new record is added to the student. So I told add. So when you call in the constructor, when you load the page, one record is there in the list. When you call the constructor, one record is there in the list. Am I clear or not? Am I clear with this? Followed or not? Followed or not followed, boss? Right? Any query? Now what was that? Whenever I call this, one new student is created and that is added to list. One new student is created, added to list. Now constructor. When the constructor will run? When the page is loaded, constructor will run. When the constructor is running, automatically what it is doing? Creating a list, adding one element to the list. Now go to the VF page. No, I'm giving control. What is the name of the list? What is the element here? Var equal to. Now, data table, page block table, data list, all they are used to print a group of elements. What is the group name? Student. Cell padding, width, rules, frame. This is what I give. Now I was giving here apex column, header value equal to what is there in the student? Name, age, city. Name, then I want to take input, apex input value equal to A is what? One student. What is that? List of students. A is what? One student. One student name, age, okay. Now look at the point. List of students. In the list of students, what will be there? Group of students, one student will be there. Okay. First student added to group. Second student added to group. Third student added to group. So what is A? A is one student. The student name, value equal to action. I was giving apex command action So look at this structure. Whenever I click on the button called add, whenever I click on the link called add, it is going to add one more record. One more record is added to the list and table is re-rendered. Look at the structure. This is the structure what I received. Name, age, city. When I click on add, now what was that? I am trying to create an order. When I am trying to create an order, okay, order item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. Now as you keep entering, the length should be increased. I am trying to create an invoice. When you are trying to create an invoice, product 1, product 2, product 3, product 4. When you are trying to, create an opportunity, account with multiple contacts, account with multiple contacts, account with multiple contacts, account with multiple opportunities, then I will use this structure. How many opportunities you are going to create, I am not sure. How many contacts you are going to create, I am not sure. Then I am going for what? Add. Now why I have taken this? Because I don't know how many students you are going to create. First student I entered, one more student is there, add. Now do you know how many students I am going to create? If I know it is a 10, I will take 10 only, array. When I am not sure how many students I am going to create, I have taken a list. When I click on add, one more row will be included. As you click on add, one more row will be included. I hope you got my story. Is that was clear for everyone? Clear? Clear, boss? Add is going to add one record or one element to the list. In the list of element, we are going to add one element. Now that element can be a account, that element can be a class, that element can be a variable, that element can be a primitive variable, that element can be a subject, that element can be a proper class, that element can be a non-primitive. So list of elements. I create a list, putting one by one element in the list using based on your requirement. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Right? Right, boss? Now can I take this context like account with a list of contacts? One account, I am trying to create a new company, new account in the organization. Now that account may have one contact, two contacts, three contacts, 10 contacts, I am not sure. Now account data, contact 1, add, contact 2, add, contact 3, add, insert, account with 3 contacts, account with 2 contacts, account with 1 contact. I hope you are good. Right. When do you go for a list? When you are not sure about how many elements you need. I hope you are good. Okay. Now let me execute this code what we have written here. Now this code is add. Now what is the final output we are expecting was? What is the final output we are expecting? When I execute this program, what is the output we are expecting? 80, 10, 90, 20, 30. Then execute it. 80, 10, 90. I not printed the debug. 1 minute, amma. System.debug. So we had 80, 10, 90, 20, 30, 40. It is not replacing. It is not replacing. It is what? It is not replacing. It is only adding the element at the particular position. Remaining elements are moved to the next position. Right. Now let us move on to the next one. Once you got the elements, how do you know how many elements are there? We got here. What was this size? Size will tell you how many elements are there in the list. This method will return count of number of elements. Size. This will give you count of number of elements in the list. Count of number of elements in the list. So let me take an example. We're going to give integer. Age is equal to give you count of number of elements. Count of number of elements. Count of number of elements. So go back to the structure. Now how many elements we have? 6. Age is dot size. Now we got age dot size. Execute. Count of number of elements. There I have given 6 elements there. Ages will give you count of number of elements. Count of number of elements. So let me give one use case where I can use this count. Now we got here 6. There are 6 elements which I inserted. Right. Now not this. We have executed this code. In this code there are 6 elements. Okay. Now let me give one use case for you.
Suppose in previous example, a student table is going to create.
The previous example.
A student table is going to create and store.
No, see, it's a class, boss. Student is not a table. What is this? It's a class, right? It's a class. If you have created a student table, I might have taken __ C. It's a wrapper class. It's your own data type. It's a class which you created. You are referring to this class and creating the data. It is not taking the data from database table. I am not taking the data from database table. I created a wrapper class and I was using this wrapper class. It's only a data type. It is not a data in the table. When you say data permanently stored, if you want to store the data permanently, we'll create a table. I don't want to create a data permanently. I want to use this data temporarily. I want to use the data temporarily. Only for momentary, I want to create some structure and use it. So I have taken what? This. I have taken this. I hope you're good. People are good with this. Okay.
Can you just go to the video of the
Which example?
this one? Yes. Previously, age is 0.
Previously?
Age is 0.
Now when you reload the page, when you are reloading the page, default values are coming, no? When you reload the page, default values come because I didn't initialize it. Okay. So if you want to make it null, at the time of creating a student, put it as null. Right. I hope you're good. So let me give an example. Okay. Now let me give a quick example here. So my requirement was like this. I have a class called company data. It's already there. Okay, let me open. We have account details. Now I was giving here public string name. Do you want complete account? Are you trying to take complete account data? No, I want only data in this format. Now, what is the data we have here? Name, phone, industry. Where I want to take company name, account phone, account industry. But flag is what? Which is says true or false. Now this is the structure in which I want to display the data. Now, if this is the structure in which I want to display the data, what I am doing? Look at this example, everyone. Now, what is the structure we are taking? List of account details. Now, what is that list of account details? Is it a class or a table? It is a class. It is a class I was taking. It is a class which I was taking. It is a class. It is not a table. It is a class which contains the information what I need. It is a class which contains the information what I need. It is a class which contains the information what I need according to my choice. Right? It is a class which contains information according to my choice. Here I am giving public. Now look at this. Now when I go to this, I was giving public as somebody has asked me table or not. I'm just trying to give this list of account. What type of list is this? What type of elements will be there in this? If I take list of integer values are there. If I take list of account, what values will be there? Account records will be there. Okay. Now what is the value of accounts? Null. Because I'm not referring. I told you already, I'm taking a SQL query. We'll discuss in detail in the coming classes. Okay. Right now what we are doing, from database we are fetching it. Now name, phone, industry, from I told get all the records from the account table in the database. How many account tables are there? Get all those record tables. Okay. Now, how do you take the elements? For what is the list I have created among? Now, what we are doing? Accounts equal to new list of account. Right. Now, how do you write a for loop? I told there are two types of for loop. If it is integer I colon, list of integer. If it is string S colon, list of string. Now it is what? List of account. So what is that? Account colon, account A colon. Are you getting my point? If it is list of contacts, how do you write? For see. If it is list of student, how do you write? If it is a list of student, how do you write? For are you getting my point? This is what we are going to write. Now what is your choice here? Take one by one. When you are getting a group of records, take one by one. Then I am saying account details be equal to new account details. What did I do? Created one account detail. What is that account detail? It's a wrapper class. Created an object for account detail. In the account detail, what we have? Name. D dot name equal to A dot. Account name. D dot phone equal to A dot phone. D dot. What is the other one I gave? D dot industry equal to. Tell you here, there is no problem. From database, you brought the data, you are taking it. Now I told if A dot industry equal to energy, then D dot amount equal to else D dot amount equal to. Now tell me, am I using the same data which is in database? No, some data which is in database, other one I am taking. Are you getting? This is the structure in which I want. I don't want to take exactly what is there in the database. The data which is in database, I want to get it and use in the way I want. Whatever the data that is there in database, fetch the data and use it in the way you want. If you want to use it in the way you want, you are supposed to customize it. So to tell you that, I told boss, I am not exactly looking for account. I am not exactly looking for account. I was taking the data in the way I want. What is the format of data you are looking for? You are looking for name, phone, industry, amount, and flag. Then put it. Mileage dot add. Did you get my point? I was not referring to the data that is there in the table directly. I am not directly trying to display the data which is there in the database. the data which is there in the database I have taken, I modified the data in the way I want, and I am putting in an organized structure, and I want to display. Now the structure in which I want to display, it is not there in the Salesforce. Now there is no data type which is available in the Salesforce, which is saying name, phone, industry, amount, flag. In database we have name, phone, industry, but we don't have any object which is giving you name, phone, industry and amount. So the format in which you want, if it is not available, what we do? We create our own. The format in which I want, if it is not available, what we do? We create our own. If you create your own data type, it is called wrapper class. So wrapper class is a class which is used to create user-defined data type. It is well said, one-to-many relation. Somebody was saying 2 days back. Okay, we are creating one data type with a combination of multiple elements. One data type with a combination of multiple data types. Okay, we are trying to create our own data type with a combination of existing data types. Are you clear? You have string separately, you have integer separately. But what is happening here? What is happening here? I need one name, one string, okay, 3 strings, one boolean, one decimal together as one data type. Now we can create name separately, phone separately, but what I want? Name, phone, industry, flag, amount together I want. Why you want together? Why you want together? Look at this example. Now I was again trying to display a dot name. I want a checkbox also. If you want a checkbox, what should I do? Apex, place it, name, checkbox, value equal to phone, industry, then we had so look at the structure what I had. Some variable is missing. I gave input checkbox, so it's supposed to be in form. Why the form? I use an input checkbox. And have a preview. This is how we are getting. Are we displaying the list of accounts? It is not list of accounts. It is the format in which I want. I took the data from accounts, I converted into the format what I want, and I was giving. Now every row has what? Name, account phone, industry, amount, which is not there in the account. That amount was calculated by me. Are you getting? In account we don't have amount field. That amount field was added by me according to my choice. For every record, that amount should be added. For every record, the checkbox should be added. Now tell me one data type which supports this. No data type. I am not referring to exact table. I am referring to partial data from the table. Remaining data I am setting by myself. Then I have to go with my own data type. When the format which you want is not supported by any one of the existing data types, then we go for this. Right. This is how the wrapper came. Wrapper is what? User defined data type. Now, how did we do? List of elements. Whenever you want to form a list of elements, create a list, add. What is the purpose of add? Adding a new element to the list. I hope everyone is good with this. Right? Okay. Now let me give one more example on the list. Count we have used. When I said count, look at the point. Now I am trying to insert a record here. I have a business requirement where I want to insert the record. When I want to insert the record, name, phone, people told insert. Now the point is, boss, when you save the record, check are there any duplicate records available in the database. I am trying to insert the record. Check are there any duplicate records in the database. If there are any duplicate records in the database, throw error. If there are any duplicate records in the database, throw error. Boss, this record cannot be inserted, duplicate exists. If there is no duplicate record in the database, insert the record. In the previous class we have done, okay, how to insert a new record. But here I want to check, are there any duplicate record exists with the same name? If the record exists with the same name, then throw error message. If the record doesn't exist, then save the record. Are you getting my point? Then how do you find it? So let me use the concept of I was giving public list of, you don't need a list concept here. And I was giving now ACC equal to, what is your intention? You want to find out, are there any duplicate records existing in the data? So I was giving list of account. How do you write a query? Array bracket. The complete in detail I'll discuss about the SQL, but for these examples I'm using. Select name from account where name equal to ACC. Are there any account records which are existing in the database with the same name? Whatever the ACC name I gave with the same name, do you have any accounts in the database? If you have the accounts in the database, then what I do? Integer count equal to accounts dot size. What account dot size? If any record exists, count will be greater than 0. With the same name, if any account exists, count will be greater than 0. Am I right or not? I told get me all the records which have the same name. If there are any records which have the same name, those records are coming. 0 means there are no records with the same name. Greater than 0 means there is a record with the same name. So what I was doing, people followed this. I told get me all those account records which are existing in the database with the same name of what I gave. If there are any existing records, those records will come. If they are coming, find out how many records are there. If it is 0, no record exists with the same name. More than 0, there is existing a record with the same name. Then what I will do? If count is greater than 0, apex space dot message new apex space dot duplicate record exists. Else insert ACC equal to so here I was supposed to give page reference. So what was my story? Boss, if there is any duplicate record, existing in the database with the same name, if there is any duplicate record existing in the database with the same name, then throw error message. Otherwise, insert the record and take me to that record. How are you finding? I wrote a query told, get me that list of record which contain the same name. If you are getting the list can be 0, list can be 1, 2 or 3. If it is 0, there are no records. If it is more than 0, there are records. So I was giving here apex form. So we have input text value equal to so I gave here location equal to value equal to this is how I gave. Then if there is any error, we are going to get page. So we are trying to insert the data. Go to the VF page. Now look, there is a record del TCS. Now duplicate record exists. Now I want to find out, are there any duplicate record with the same name? If they exist, throw error message. So the previous examples what we had done, inserting a record. Now I want to insert the record by checking for the duplicate. To do that, I have taken the help of SQL query with the list. SQL query with the list, and I am finding out. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Right. So the count functionality, the size, accounts.size, which is going to give you number of elements. Is empty, add element, add index comma element, undo this. Right. Now, for your practice purpose, you can try out these examples. Right. Now I'm making the points. Boss, wrapper classes, SQL wrapper list combination, most of the context will be there. Most of your business requirements are going to be there with the combination of wrapper, SQL and list. More number of examples you are going to practice on this will be easy for you. Right. If you are simply trying to do the classroom exercise, it will not be sufficient for you. You are supposed to form the wrappers and try more number of examples. More examples you do, the better logics you can write in the Salesforce. Your Salesforce programming skills are identified based on your knowledge on list, set, map with a combination of SQL and wrapper. With this 5 concept combination, how best you can write the logics, that will decide your knowledge on Salesforce. Right. So you are supposed to analyze a number of examples and do it. Okay, if you practice 3-4 examples, leave it. you will not be getting that knowledge, right? Now look at the point. The first one is for your practice purpose. The first UI, look at the point. Now I need name. So whatever the data you have taken here, when I click on add, this should be added to the list and the list should be displayed at the bottom. When I enter the data, click on add, the data should be added to the list should be displayed at the bottom. Enter. Add the data and click on add. The data should be displayed here. View Pro. Energy. Rating equal to. Right. Again, what are the new records I'm adding? Enter the data, click on add, that should be added to the list. Right. This is the first example. Try to achieve this example. So once a record is added to the list, it should be removed from the data should be removed so that I can create one more record. So once the data is entered, once the record is added to the list, this should be empty so that I can add a new record to the list. Try how we can achieve this example. Right. Next, is the requirement was clear? The next requirement what I have is create a wrapper class account with which contain write the SQL query, all the account records, convert the list of accounts to now how you are doing this list of, as you are not done the SQL query, I am writing here. Right, get the data, convert the list of account to list of account wrapper. What do we do? For ad dot age is equal to add the record to so complete and display this data in the VF page. Create the same story with the contacts. Scenario 2. Create a VF page. Is to insert. Create a VF page to create a new contact. If we should not, if account has, or if contact has more than 50, okay, 30 records, then new record insertion should fail. Try out these 3 scenarios just to practice the topics what you have done for the day. Right. One is the UI what I have given here. This is the UI. The second one, writing a query, getting the data, converting into account data, trying to display. Third one is you are supposed to create a new contact. When you said create, it will go to database and see how many contacts are there. If more than 30 already 30 contacts are there, it has to throw error message. We cannot insert more than 30 records. If less than 30 records are there, new records should be inserted, and we have to go to the right, boss. Do these 3 examples for practice. I hope everyone has followed the topics for the day. Right? Okay. That's all from my end. We'll continue tomorrow.
Satish,
Yes, Amma.
array notes is not there.
It's already there, Amma.
Okay. Thank you, Satish.
That's all from my end. See you all in the next session.